Marriage is a beautiful thing when love is involved. But is love enough? You're welcome to another beautiful episode of Family Couch, and I am your host, Funke Bolanewa. This is Family TV. As we dive into today's episode, I want to say a big thank you to our family. I mean, those who have subscribed to this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for always coming back to watch this beautiful program. And to our new viewers, you can join the family by clicking the subscribe button and click the notification bell beside it to notify you anytime we drop new video on this channel, and especially Family Couch. So today we have a guest in the house. This guest, you might be saying I used to hype my guest, but it is what I see. I will always talk. My guest is beautiful, elegant, sophisticated. She is which English should I use again? Smile now. Now. I don't hype you. I know go smile. All right, you're welcome, madam.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So, you've shared your story with me, but of course the world wants to know because we want to learn, especially for the young couples or those who are yet to get married, so that they can understand some things before they go into marriage. You said you're separated.
Yeah.
Now, for how long were you married for?
Well over 15 years.
You were married for 15 years, but no more married. So how long have you been separated from your husband?
This year will make it 10 years,
So all in all, 25 years.
so to speak.
How long did you cut?
Maybe about 5 years.
5 plus 15, 20 plus 10, 30. And, whew. All right, while you were cutting, was there any red flag that probably error of omission? Because they say love is blind.
Mm-hmm.
So because of love, maybe you omit it and you didn't even think it's something serious. Now that you have been separated, just think back. Were there any red flags that you think could have been one of the factor or main factor for the divorce or the separation?
Well, let me borrow your words.
Okay.
Error of omission.
Okay.
Of course, there should be, or there were red flags.
Okay.
Like you said, error of omission.
Okay.
Because sitting here now, looking back, I probably actually omitted or overlooked the red flags. Of course, there were red flags, which I didn't see then as red flag.
Okay.
But in the course of my, coming out of the stage and looking inward again, I realized that this could have been checked, this could have been checked, this could have been avoided, this could have been, there were red flags. Like you said, love was blind. And with my little brain then, I felt I was on the right path with him. But along the line, things went south. So
with those red flags then, if you were to probably reverse or rewind, would you have still married him or not?
No. Of course, I now have my regrets. I shouldn't have gone in the first place. Because, like you said, error of omission.
Okay.
So I think that actually outplayed, which then I didn't see. But I can authoritatively say now that those were errors of omission that I actually embarked on.
So when you were in the marriage, those red flags you could not manage, to just manage it and probably...
Of course, I managed it for a while. I managed it up to that level. For a number of years, I managed it. I tried to... You can't really run this race with your human knowledge. Yes, I did all I could. I wasn't running alone. I was running with... God was involved. But at some point, because of his... Should I call it his own... mindset, so to speak. It kind of derailed from the original plan we had. So at that point, it was as if I was fighting a lost battle.
Wow.
So
So,
I had to speak.
at what point did you decide to leave? At what point? Probably that must be the breaking point. That is, nah, 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 nah. I can't. So, at what point was it? If you can just put it
I
into
can
words.
say at the point where I felt I was actually losing my mind.
Oh.
I was losing my mind. I was losing my self-esteem.
Mm.
I was practically becoming a different person.
Wow.
All in the name of I wanted to maintain my marriage. I wanted it to work. I wanted it to, you know. I didn't involve people. I'm a very private person when it comes to my marriage.
Okay.
I didn't involve people until like maybe 6-7 years.
Okay. So,
When I felt I'd done all I could, that was everything humanly possible. Even though I was praying by the side, and at some point, I think I heard clearly that it's time to leave. Because at some point, my health was actually deteriorating. And for me, that was a no-no.
okay. Now, you said something now that we want to go on a break, but before then, just think about the question. You said something now that you heard clearly that it's time to move on.
Yeah,
But there's this saying that God hates divorce.
yeah.
So why would
God hates divorce.
okay?
But does God hate the divorcee? That's what the question most people never answered. God hates divorce. Why?
Hold your thoughts. All right, we'll be right back after this short break. You're welcome back. Yes, we are still with my guest. I am still with my guest, Miss Elizabeth Edet Okon. And she said something before we went on that short break that yes, God hates divorce, but does God hate the divorcee? Please explain.
I've come to realize that we don't really address that question. God hates divorce. At the same time, this same God will not want to see his children perish in pain and in oppression. So when you get to that level where the center could no more hold
Good.
and your life is at stake, my dear, I
Those are
advise
to
you to
take a
take a
walk.
walk.
All right. So, with you and your ex-husband, was there any? Because you said you're a private person
Yeah.
until you get to a point that you just have to involve probably some people. So, um, did the family intervene, and how was it? Any changes after the family, or was there anything like that?
Yeah, they got involved. A marriage counselor also got involved first.
Okay.
I actually had to invited the marriage counselor, which was the family friend.
Okay.
He came in, there was no headway. At that point, the marriage counselor now advised that I need to break my stand now because I never involved any family members. So he said I need to go that route, which I had to take his advice and involve the mother. I think my mom was the last person that that actually got to know. Even though I traveled to see her like 2-3 occasions,
Okay.
I never mentioned anything was going wrong.
Okay.
And she got heartbroken. Like, why didn't I talk? Mom, what would I have done? What if along the line we got this problem got resolved? You will forever hate this person because I'm your child. And for a mother, I tell you the truth, you'll be biased. Mothers will always be, but you will side your child. At some point, this person wants to kill my child, this person wants to kill my daughter and all that. So I was trying to manage that,
Situation.
that, it could get resolved. And what if you have told the whole world and they're still looking at him in that bad light? I tried my best to manage the situation, to tolerate as much as I could. But I got to realize that it was in the marriage I realized I was actually dealing with a narcissist.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't see that. But eventually, reading of books, talking to people, and mostly books, that I realized, so I was actually
Dealing with one.
I was actually involved with a narcissist, which I was getting easily manipulated, oppressed, emotional blackmail, emotional torture. And I was losing my mind. Like I told you privately then, that I was really, really losing my mind. My BP was nothing to write home about.
Wow.
So I had to face reality. At that point, we got the police involved.
Wow.
Yeah, it got to that family, the welfare departments, and you know, and after all that intervention, there was still no headway. It became worse. He became worse.
All right. So, what would you have said is the major factor to your separation?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I had it all well and good from
Okay.
the onset. He was a nice person.
Okay.
Because I remember very well when my pastor intervened. My pastor was a very practical. He is a very practical person. When he intervened, he asked me, "Do you still want this marriage?" I remember very well what I answered. "I want to come with this." I told him, "Yes, if he's the man I married then, of course I'll come back. But if he still remains this changed man I'm seeing now, no."
Okay.
So bottom line, what I can summarize that actually brought all this, issue is simply, I'll call it fake religious bygones.
Fake religion.
Yeah, fake, all these fake prophets, fake. He allowed himself to be,
Probably
to be lured or
manipulated.
manipulated. So he brought in all those, my prophet said, of course the prophet is different from the church pastor that we actually,
Okay.
I'm not saying the church we attend the same
Okay,
church.
so he was practically visiting other
underneath who were, at some point when I noticed changes in him, each time I ask, he swaves up. He slides it up. It doesn't affect you in any way. Why you eventually made it so glaring. If you don't want to, if you can't take it any longer, we got to a level where he had to separate the rooms. And that wasn't not my idea at all.
So is
For
it
me, it was a
the pastor that even asked him to separate rooms, or he just decided to do
not
that?
the church.
And you know what? Those
Whatever,
people
maybe,
that he
I
is
wouldn't know,
visiting
but that was what was happening. So I want to believe he was getting advices from them.
from them.
I didn't say they actually came outrightly to say it,
I
but
understand.
the action could easily, I can
Action
easily
speaks
tell
louder.
that something was going wrong. And at some point, I was bragging about it. They told me your spirit will disturb me when I'm praying. So you have to leave the room. You have to do this. You have to do that, and all that. So I didn't really. At that point, I just told myself, enough of living in denial. I had to pick myself together and face it head on. Though it wasn't easy. It was not. I didn't walk away because I was tired of him. I didn't walk away because maybe he wasn't giving me enough. I didn't walk away because like the world we are in, women, when things were really down though. But for me, he couldn't manage the pressure. Because I was ready to stay no matter what. I know it's a phase. It will come and it will go on. I felt that the backing and the push from whatever I was going to was actually, I was a bad person, I was a witch, I was the one making his business to be stagnant. So at some point I was like, well, look, I got the family support, his family, and they were like, don't worry, everything will be fine and all that. But I wasn't married to the family, I have to face it. This is the person that I live with. You people talk and you go. I sleep, I wake up with the same person. So at some point...
But was there no person that you could report him to that could, probably caution him or, advise him on what to do?
Yes, like I said, at that point when I had to call somebody, I told you I called a marriage counselor. As outside that, I called his parents, which
Okay.
he called off their bluff.
No, the parent cannot even correct him or advise him.
Well,
Wow.
that was the interpretation I got, because when they tried talking to him, when we left the parents' house, got home, that was the day he went to the sitting room, hijacked the wedding picture, broke it.
Wow.
He broke it and tore the marriage certificate.
Ah.
So he had even tore the marriage certificate before I got to know. So he was saying, I've even told you, what are you waiting for? You have to leave. He was calling my uncle. I've lost my dad even before the marriage. My uncle, like, what's happening? Enough is enough. We'll come and take your daughter away. If not, you'll be shocked. My commit mother and all that. I think that was what my pastor heard. I was like, sister, you're going through a lot. I heard you're going through a lot and you're not talking. I wasn't saying, I didn't really talk to the pastor, not because I didn't trust him, but because I felt it's a private thing, it's my private life. And my pastor got angry with me that I didn't really call him into it. And I apologized and he came in. Even at that, he called a meeting with some elders to try to hear both sides. At the end of the day, he threw tantrums at all of them. I walked away.
Wow.
I knew you guys would support a woman. I know you guys will say it's a woman's word. You say he left them. Even at the correctional center of the area F there, they talked, he walked away. So it was as if nobody could actually talk to him.
Ha.
So
That's serious. That's serious. So now I will I say my belief though that if parents are separated, that it affects the children. Was there anything like that? How have you been able to cope? Was it taking responsibility on, because I know you have a child for him. Okay. So was it taking responsibility, or is he taking responsibility, as in doing the fatherly role?
Yes.
And does your girl understand what's happening?
She just have to. I know she got emotionally disturbed initially because there was a night. I think that was the night I packed out. Because I packed out not immediately. I rented the place. I moved to my younger sister's apartment. That night he came. I was blah blah. Brought in cutlass from the room. Brought out a stroke of cane. Brought out some funny stuff. I was like, the prophet has told him, if I let me borrow the word, timber shy, nothing will happen. If I kill you, nobody will.
Father told him, if Toba shy, nothing will happen.
That nobody can get him. He can pieces you. But he has one feeling for this child that.
For this child.
Nobody can take care of a child like the mother. That's why I'm sparing you. So he threw the cutlass, brand new cutlass, shiny, and locked the room, locked the door, pocketed the keys. I had a guest, 2 people in the house then that night. His elder sister was around. A friend of mine that came to spend the weekend. The sister too was around for some days. They were all shouting, what's happening? He said everybody should move back. He had locked the door with the key in his pocket. So I was just calm. And my daughter was seated because I was actually matting her hair. She was shivering. So that night, when we managed to open the door, and this was at like 12 midnight too. So I don't think I slept through that night. I was awake the next morning. I called my sister. She said, come in. So my car then, he seized it. And I moved to my sister's place, took 2 of her uniforms that she would take to school the next day. I think I made a mistake. I shouldn't have allowed her to go to school the next day because she was traumatized.
Of course you
The proprietors had to call me. What's happening? That this guy was about to cry. My daddy brought out the big knife. Wanted to cut my mom. That's all she could interpret. Mrs. This, I don't want to call her name. My mother, call my mommy. So she called me into her office and was trying to what happened? And when I told her, I called the father and still did not get it resolved. At some point, he came to the school. If they release that girl to her, I'm the one paying the fee. I'm going to burn down the school. At that point, the woman said, this is not normal anymore. She took the child to her house that night. That day. The proprietress. She took the child to her house. Said, you want to burn the school? This child, I will not release it to you, neither to the mom. Once this child is in this school, she becomes my responsibility.
Of course, yes.
So she said, don't worry. I said, her uniform, what is she going to wear the next day? Because they wear different colors of uniform to school. She said, don't worry, I'll wash this one. She wear it like that. She tried to I'm sure you are not sleeping in that house today. Because what I've just seen, anything can happen. Why don't you just go and hang out with your siblings and all that? So I stayed with my sister for, I think, 2 months before I finally got myself together to rent an apartment. and all that and all that. Even they've been going about telling people that he rented an apartment for me and all. I just said
That's just no problem.
But then I had to move on. I bottled up for a while, which is human, you know. I stayed off relationship I locked my mind. And
So
I think I'm just trying to come out of it.
So now, are you going to give marriage another chance?
Marriage.
Marriage? Not sure yet.
I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Okay. So before we go, because I know you have a lot to say, and I know the time might not be enough for you to say because I have plenty questions. But so far you have touched some places, some points that I think it's important, and the information is, in fact, I have learned some things also. Now, for those young couples or young boys and girls in a relationship, what advice would you have for them, before they enter, and those that have entered, or those going through the same thing you've went through? What are the advice you can, give to them to help?
Most times when I get these questions, I try not to answer.
Why?
Reason being that my answer might come from my pain. And I'll be sounding biased.
Why?
But over time, I've come to realize that I just need to speak.
Yes, you need to.
I just have to speak because I may probably be going through what I'm going through because I need to help somebody else.
Yes.
So I will give a try to that. I will start by saying that during the counseling class for young couples, because you go through counseling class, I went through all that as well.
Okay.
Not as if I bashed into marriage and, the counselors should try to be more realistic with couples, young couples. They tell you when you get married, third party is out of your marriage. Don't involve your parents, even your parents. Don't involve your friends. There should be somebody you can cry to. There should be a respective figure that you can call up to when you are going. I'm not saying something happened today, you jump out, but it will get to a stage, you should be able to involve a matured, dependable
person.
Maybe I won't call it Christian because it can be Muslim.
Yes.
You should have somebody that both of you can talk to as a mother figure in your marriage.
Or a father figure.
In your marriage. Or a family that you trust so well that you can relate with. Then, that's by the way for the counselors to take note.
Okay.
Always advise them. Don't say cut off your parents. That's why you see people have issues after marriage. They start tagging their parents. Maybe your mother is a witch, your father is common. You see couples calling their parents
and
names.
That alone is is even I call it a killer, because when you're going through some things and you are not able to even talk to people till you buy in that relationship, nobody will know what's up.
That's it. And you must stress it that they said you should keep to your home does not mean you can't talk to people. Just know the people you talk to. People you can. When I say talk to people, not gist. Somebody I can call in the middle of the night and he will give me audience. Somebody if you don't have people like that, then I don't pray for a marriage to have issue, but it might not even be issue. It could just be experience as the first mother. Somebody you can call. You should be able to do that. And also for the young couples, especially for the ladies, I would advise your partner, if there is no authority figure in his life, please don't
go there.
Don't go near it. If you have a man that does not respect or fear anybody, that you can't, if he raises his hands up to give a slap, and somebody appear from behind and say, "Hey, Tokme, drop that hand," and he looks back and says, if not for this, if he does not have such person in his life, please don't. Because he will rubbish you in that home. If you don't have anybody you can, you want to do this to me, let me call daddy, let me call your father, let me call your this. You will say, okay, please don't. If you don't have such authority figure in his life, same thing goes to the ladies. But most times it's common among men. And if you notice any red flag, please, If you don't understand it, please speak with a professional about it or a more experienced
Person.
family member or couples that are practical. So as for my daughter, how I tried to help her psyche, I didn't just shield her and put her under me because she can't get it all right within the four walls of the home.
Yes.
She goes on to stay or visit or vacation. I make sure I push her into families. I push her into homes that have a good role model or family that are balanced.
Okay.
I have my sister family that, of course, like your boss was saying, is a happy man. Homes like that, I throw her there, go for holiday. You see how ideal parents deal with children and parents.
So it
I
will help
did
that, the
I did that
experience you
intentionally. She
had.
didn't know. There are homes she goes to. It's not every home, but there are healthy family homes. I push her there to learn and come back. So with that, with what I can also denote, books I read and all that, talk to her, make her your friend, make her series is why this. I never bad-mouthed her father.
Wow.
But she's of age now. She has started seeing some things, and with time she will unveil it. I'll be able to talk better. I never wanted to be biased. Let her.
That's good.
I make sure she loves him. She relates with him. She talks with him. So for women that carries, when you have issues, you barricade your kids from seeing their father. You're only punishing yourself.
Thank you so much for coming. Thanks for sharing your story with us. In fact, at the point I want to tear up, but I just had to hold myself, All right, guys. We've heard it all. And I don't even know. Whew, women. Okay, we'll be back. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you. We are done for today, but we'll be back next time with another fantastic episode. All right, if you watch till now, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Click the notification bell to notify you anytime we drop quality content like this. And also do us the honor of liking, subscribing, following all our social media platforms that you're seeing on the screen. And if you have anything to share with us regarding your marriage, relationship, just call the number showing on your screen and we will be at your service. Till I come your way next time, I still remain your girl, Funke Bolanwa. Bye for now.